Hello?
Hello.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome on in. Welcome, Raiders. I am Delenn Russell, and we are
Hello?
here on the Dadcraft Patreon server, the we often call it the coffee
Hello?
server. So we have a lot of hellos to say good morning to this morning. I'm just making sure my cheaty overlay is available. There we go. Now I can see it. So welcome on into Tom and Friends. Thank you very, very much for the raid. It is, let's see. So good morning to CJBot, to ITT Tom, to Zeroed, and Fantastic Sherlock Fox. Good morning. Or well, actually good, what time is it here? Oh, good evening almost, Bob, from across the pond. And yeah, good to see you all. Apparently it's nighttime. Don't know how I manage that every single time. That's okay. Oh, well, I was going to say my unofficial sleeper is here, but that's not going to be a good thing. Sorry, buddy, gotta wake you up. Don't need the flying rats this morning. They can just take a hike. There we go. I can hear but not see them all that well, so you go away. Oh, well, too late. Where's the other one? Okay, I think I lost him. All right. Good to see all of you. So, Tom, when you get time, I don't know if you're getting ads, but when you have the opportunity, could you please tell me what you were talking about working on this morning? Okay, this guy. What have I done? Your master? Okay, we're good. Let's make sure I don't have any kids hanging around or not traded villagers. Okay, you're good. All right. I was playing with villagers last night, breeding up some more because we had used the last of our farmers in here, and I wanted to get some other ones going. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great, you guys can stay there. But as far as plans go for today, I think I'm going to join the bandwagon and do another push for some debris. I know that I've got full netherite myself, but Fantastic Sherlock Fox does not, so I want to give him the opportunity before he has to deal with all the crazy trims and whatnot. The other part of it is if he doesn't want it, I can always easily use it on my backup gear, so that's no loss whatsoever. You never get any ads. Ah, turbo user. But you're looking at farm placement, post-update, and storage. What does the upcoming update, have to do with the placement of farms? Are you looking for doing some different farms than you've done already, or are we looking at basically what is the challenge, I guess is probably a better way of looking at it. I'm putting things away because I want to not have a full inventory of stuff. I'm good at being stuff heavy when I go elsewhere. It's not a great plan. Okay. Don't need fires. I was playing with bees as well. You guys saw on stream yesterday that I nicked a couple of beehives from spawn, and then I went looking for a couple of other ones out here, and did end up finding what I needed, so I returned the ones to spawn that I had borrowed. And Don't need to be wandering around fires in my hands. Let's put the chicken away just because never hurts to start. Alrighty. Toolbox. That sounds really strange to be launching in that quickly. Oh yes, and thank you, Fantastic Sherlock Fox, for catching both of those shoutouts. First one to Tom, and then second one to Zeroed. So portal placement in the update areas. Ah, gotcha. But also an excuse to not start on them right away. Yeah, I guess. So what sort of project do you think you will do first once you actually get into the Nether? Not Nether, sorry, once you get into the new update. I could talk straight, that might help. Yeah, I've got some picks. Not mending, that's okay. Don't think I'll go through them that fast. This one is efficiency 3. Okay, I don't want to use it because it doesn't have silk touch, that's why I had that moved. Let's put it this way. Then I probably won't mess it up. Multi-tree AFK farm. You are really confusing me. I shall have to go and check it out. Because I have not done an AFK tree farm ever. And the other part of it is I'm not sure what particularly that would have to do with portals. But you never know. I could be today years old when I learn something new again. So that's good. Oh, gotcha. Okay, I see. One wants to explodiate the trees. That's interesting. I haven't thought about that before. Let's see, what do I have space for? Excess shovels. I don't think I need to carry around a bazillion pieces of lighting for this project, so let's get rid of that. I'm trying to keep my toolbox to a minimum so that I don't have tons of stuff kicking around. Okay, extra stuff, extra spaces. That's where the stonecutter went. I needed more yesterday, couldn't find it. Okay, and then I'll put away the shovels, because I shouldn't need that many of them. 1, 2. Quick reference 1, so that's easy. Apparently this is where I was starting with this one. Ending on breaking 3. Put the good one away. Right. And let's put the... So I get the other shovel out of the other one. Oh, wait a minute, is it silk touch? Yeah. That's why that other one was... That other pick was out of the road. Because if I silk touch my ender chest, I'm in a world of hurt. Okay, and I'll put this shovel away. And that should do for most of the trip to the Nether. Except... Nah, I'll be fine. She'll be fine, she says, and then she... Okay, yeah, that's alright. When I was there yesterday, I used my own sword. So I didn't touch the one that would have been on the wall. I don't know if I even looked. I'm also making it a... After I screwed up the last time... Whoa, whoops. See? Screwed up, and then I go and say that and do it. After I messed up the last time, I make a point of turning off the spitting device if it's been running, or leaving it off if it's not running when I'm there, and just dealing with all the pearls until I have no space to be able to do anything else. I assume by the fact that you're asking the question, it's not there now. Let's see. That's not good. So the Ender has his cool sword, but it, yeah. I seriously hope nobody else yeeted it into the system. I still owe Iron Man for that, actually. What would it take? Let's see, what have I got? Let's see what this sword looks like. Smite, blab, knockback, mending, and breaking. It would do... And that's the best I've got. Let's just see what the other guy has. I don't mind supporting this one. I just need to see... it would take a little bit to build a sword for that. That's definitely an interesting project. You're not the right guy anyways. You're not the right guy. Where is... Trying to see what my local guys have, just for... Aha! There you guys are. Dude, what have you got? I can get a knockback 1 out of that. What's this? Smite, Sweeping Edge 2, knockback 1. Not ideal. Okay, but that's what I've got available. And I don't mind doing combinations, and I've got a few librarians for books over in the monastery. So if you want me to build a... If you need me to build a replacement because you don't have any luck, let me know, because I'm totally on board with doing that. You know where you'll find me. I'm going to hang out in the Nether for a while. And yeah, if you guys need me to do that, I can come back and build it. Oh, I know what I was putting this out for. I'm still in the stage where I keep everything. 16. I still keep everything. So the more more ender shulker boxes I can bring, the better. Life does that a lot. Just when I decide I'm going to go do something, the situation falls in so that it becomes pointless. But that's okay. It won't be my precious box if I put in there too much. Okay. Tom? No, it's CJ Bot. That's okay. I'm still quite curious about the gas farm, so I'm gonna have to check out Tom's work as much as I can. It might have to be VOD Central. I now know what I might be watching. Alright. Probably because CJ came over with Tom's raid and it still says Raider from ITT Tom. Actually, you do, he doesn't. So, you Fantastic Shop Fox do is what I mean. So for those of you that have not been sitting in the stream for a while, do I have a easy button? Oh, I'm getting my sounds today. There we go. Oh, okay. So my sounds don't like me. That's all right. Shush, Stream Deck. My Stream Deck's being a pill. Alright. Geek out? Oh, I see. I'm looking for... Raid refresh. I can't even spell. Well, that's not helping anybody. I can't spell. ESH. There we go. So, yeah, if you haven't refreshed, feel free to do so. Okay, now that I'm all distracted, and I could probably... I was just about to go use my bed. That's real smart. Let's put the bed away, because we don't need that. Don't need lanterns, let's throw a bed up there instead. Just for organization purposes. Never hurts to be orgy-ized. Ah, highest bidder. I'm sure it will be after after 120 drops, because CJ can get a good return on that one. I'm also curious to see who's going to be the first one on the coffee server, at least, to have a business with selling... What am I doing? You know what? I just went to the wrong way. You need to think about this first. Pardon me. A business with selling access to the armor trim so that people can copy them. You know, or making copies and selling them for the price of copying or more. Okay, map. Map. Okay, where am I? I'm here. Where are we levels wise? This one? That one? Ah, okay. Ooh, ah. Sorry, like, ooh, ah, yes. So I went through the wrong portal. That would explain a lot. I have two and I went through the wrong one. Alright. Brief frame drop. I don't know what's causing that today. We have absolutely terrible frame rates. Nothing is open different than usual, so I'm kind of wondering what I've got going. It climbs when I stand still, so it's probably that stupid Bobby mod. I like it, but it has its drawbacks too. What are you doing on carrots? Not bad. I did not bring a flower, so I'm hoping I have no bees in here. It'd be a nice change not to have bees in here. No, actually I have a mod called Bobby. That sounds weird. Oh, wrong one. Uh-oh. Guess what I forgot? Yeah. I would not be surprised if there's a Ziglin there when I get back. So I have a mod called Bobby, and what it does, escape mods. So it says it allows for render distances greater than the server's view distance setting. What it actually does is, as you go through an area, it will, what do you call it? It will basically copy the area to my local machine, and then when I nip out of a space and then come back, it will actually allow me to preload those areas quite quickly, so I can actually look out distance-wise far further. So we've got fake chunks, basically. That's really what it is. You can tint them and stuff, and I just haven't bothered. So it's a really cool, useful thing when I'm going back and forth. But, let's see, this one. Yeah, so we're not overwriting the distance. And single player, so I may end up using it for that, but not right now, in any case. But that's what I've got turned on, which is useful in a lot of cases, but it can be a real frame rate hit, and unfortunately I'd have to get out of there and come back, which probably wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, we're not looking for tons of frames in the nether, but maybe I should shut that one down. So give me a quick second to do that, I'll take a quick hydrate, and I'll be back with you in just a moment.
Hello.
I was indeed. I muted it so that you wouldn't hear me coughing after my hydrate, and yeah, kind of blew it. Okay, what do we got? Looks like we got everything. We're out of here. The CJ is going to be the purveyor of hot goods, apparently. Ah, I might put my nice pants on. You can go away now. It's like, aw. He got all disappointed and left. What? And how long it's gonna last. Yeah, that's true. Limited quantities and all that, right? Okay. Which hallway do I want? Well, I didn't dig out torches, so that's probably a no-go to start. Now, here's the other thing. If I can get out, this time, getting out from the inside is not the problem. It's finding my way back. And at some point, I mean, if I was going to be doing a whole ton of netherite mining, and I always say this, that, yeah, I'll come through and I'll do the ceiling one more higher. And then I never remember. Or I end up justifying to myself why I won't. Level are we on? We are on 12. Nice. Okay. A couple things I need before I go. I need to switch shirts. And I do need some of those torches after all. Let's throw torches over there. And put the elytra away safely. No! No cat likes. Okay. Torch, please. So now I'm going to put these here. Hopefully they'll still be there when I get back. They may not. Oops, oh, I want to go this side. Okay, that should do the trick. My thing about hallways when I do them, I usually try to remember. I don't always succeed, but I usually try to remember to put the torches on my left on the way out so that I can know the right way home. And as cheesy as that sounds, it's worked for me, so I'm just going to stick with it. This way. Where was I going? That way. Alright. 1, 2. This one. So I get to the lava and then we'll stop. So anyway, what do we have here? Geek out topic at the moment appears to be... Oop, maybe not. Sorry, geek out topic appears to be 4 animal sidekick characters in Disney. Animal sidekicks. Fantastic Sherlock Fox says for CJ's gear, I might need to bid on it, though I suspect I'd need a lot more diamonds. Well, you could have all the ones you gave me if you needed to. That's that. Oh, nope, I think I hit the end of that wall. Yeek! That was stupid. Come on, Delenn, don't be dumb. Okay, that's enough. I don't mind the burning part. I wouldn't even mind the screen flashing, but I really don't like the twitch that it gives the screen because it makes me slightly nauseous. But, oh well, could be worse, right? Now, here's a question for you. Just something my son and I were talking about the other day is he insists that that baked potatoes are a better plan when out and about traveling, and the golden carrots are better for building. No, I wasn't going there. That's how I get super lost. Okay. So I was insisting on trying to dig near that space. Let's go north and then start up here in this little thing because I can deal with the small pockets. So the dragon in Raya and the Last Dragon. Oh, Sisu! Sisu was awesome. Good. And Sven in Frozen, for sure. Okay, so I think I'll take a right at this tunnel, and then when it ends, I'm just going to start going back and forth. At 12, though, because 12 or 13, maybe. Either one of those seems to be more my magic number. So, yeah, I'd say those two. What else do we have? Excuse me a second. Sorry about that, guys. I mistimed my meds. Basically, the decongestants and stuff are not supposed to kick out till noon, but I've got one that's not contraindicated that I can just take, so I'll just grab that.
2, 4, 6, 8, everybody hydrate!
All gonna come up as water, but that's okay. Where are we here? Is this where I want to be? I want to be in the nether. Yeah, this will work. Here, first thing I'm going to do is just be that person who just connects tunnels to start with. Let's see, so we've got, it says 4. So let's see if we can find two more Disney sidekicks. I would say Mushu from Mulan. which would be a popular one on Mr. Owl's plate. He likes Mushu quite a lot. Or at least, he likes Mulan quite a lot as his answer just about everything. Do not go. Where have I got my map? Alright. So what else? So we got Mushu's a good one. I mean, Cricky from the same movie, but that's kind of cheaty for me to say that. That would be the cricket sidekick. The reason I like 13 instead of 14 is because people say that the stuff is 15, right? So if you've got around 13, then this standing up here, around 13, then standing up here is 14, and then standing up there is 15, which I could still see as this row when I come down. So people say it's the best at 15. I mean, I guess maybe standing on 14 would be better, but then I miss anything below that. So, besides, it's kind of fun to mess with people's heads when they use a different number. I have far more problems with tickle in the throat than I did yesterday. Interesting. 1, 2, there we go. Pardon me. Let me see who else in Disney had. If we're talking animals in a rather not literal, sorry, very, very loose sense, then Elliot from Pete's Dragon. Although he's the dragon of the title, he's definitely more, he was definitely more Pete's sidekick. Oh. Nope. Doody doody doo doo. This is one of those things that reminds me I've got at SMP, right? That I go to the gold and I'm like, meh, I don't really care because if I need to, I can go to the gold farm. So that's one of the things that makes me sort of tempted to start a solo world. 120 is the perfect opportunity, so I may do that. We'll see how much time I spend in that world, because I still want to keep coming back to this one every time I've got sort of an idea or something that fires me up. Okay, this could be, oops, yep, 1, 2, there we go. But one of the thoughts I'd had, and I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with this, but there was a cartoon in the, oh geez, and Essex Shock Fox may have to look it up for me, but I think it was in the 90s. Yeah, it would have been either the early 90s possibly, or the late 80s maybe, called Reboot, and it was one of the early computer-generated cartoons. And I was just curious if anybody else remembers that, because I was thinking a reboot theme might be kind of interesting, because I like having themes where I can get reference shots and stuff, but I've never done a modern style build. And the nice part about theming it off that would be that some of the characters are blocky. They're very square, and that works well in a Minecraft sense. Yep, it's definitely Sven. like I'd love to get a redux of one of our scout leaders. Doing his version of Reindeers Are Better Than People. Because he was hilarious. He did both characters. And he sang both sides, and it was really quite funny because we had done that for a virtual campfire, so we did videos that were all cut together and then broadcast over YouTube. And he did Reindeers Are Better Than People. Sort of on a dare, actually. The deal with his daughter was that she would rap part of Hamilton, the musical, if he did Reindeers Are Better Than People. So he did, and then she chickened out. Which was kind of funny, because half of us expected that. Not that we didn't trust her. It was more that we had a pretty good idea she was trolling him. Oh. But for our second one, our second virtual campfire, she did pay up, so it was worth it in the end. Do I care? No. It's fine. Yeah, I got it. Leave me alone. Oh, I see. Replace failed because I let it break. That would explain a lot. Okay, I think this one. New Geek Out topic. Ouch. 2 books that take place in the 1600s. In this case, I'm not qualifying the Shakespearean scripts, although technically those would be books. Part of the reason I'm not fussing too much about the fact that I don't have a beacon or whatever to go super fast is that I have a funny tendency to let myself get set on fire if I go too quickly, so I think I'm just going to go with it. Nope. Actually, good guess, though. Cadfael, you're off by about, 400 or 500 years? No, the 1600s, I think we're getting closer to, like, we're talking like Louis XIV and so on. I'm guesstimating here because I know horribly little about European history in terms of content, sure. Dates? I'm terrible. If we get stuck, I can use streamer's prerogative and just call a new one. Because the 1600s is a tough period. I mean, you could look at things like some of the Puss in Boots sort of stuff. Actually, when would Three Musketeers have been set? That's a good sort of ballpark. Say earlier or later, because I think that one should have been earlier, but I'm not sure. Hmm. 13's not working out well for me today. And I'm debating whether or not I go up or whether I stay. Ah! Well, that nearly made my decision for me. So I'm going to use streamer's prerogative here and see if we can get a fresh geek out. Choice? How do we always keep getting choice when I do that? I swear it's rigged. 6 Academy Award winners for Best Actor or Best Actress. There we go. Now, I'm not sure who winners are, per se. We might actually have situations where you guys suggest somebody and it seems reasonable and I'm just going to go with it because I have no idea otherwise. The only one I could think of off the top of my head would be Meryl Streep, because she wins just about every time she's on the ballot. So does anybody know any of the Academy Award winners? And if we're not asking what we're not asking what they won it for, but just names of people who've won. Okay, maybe 13 is okay. I'll take 2. Yes. Take 2, they're small. Put away quick. Quick! Yeah. Let's not waste time. While I'm here... We're not doing so hot on the Geek Outs today. Oops. That explains a lot, actually. Okay, let's go Twitch. Oh, that'll work, whatever. Tab. Disable tab. And where am I? Live. This one. There, we'll stick it over there instead. And... much better. Alright. Might help if we can actually see it underneath the chat. There we go. Where's I going? Up, down, sideways. Bed bombing zone coming up. Well, no debris in here. So what have we got now? Two pieces of debris so far, which means I'm not that far from a whole ingot, because I've got one lonely piece of scrap sitting in the precious box. I mean, this sort of activity works fairly well when I'm just having to stop for the coughing breaks and stuff, just because Fantastic Sherlock Fox doesn't need me to be dying left, right, and center while I'm having coughing fits. It's just not... it doesn't make for good content. The poor mod gets stuck. And by the way, Tom, if you're still kicking around, I want to say thank you very much for, as he put it, helping Fantastic Sherlock Fox keep his skills from being rusty. Because the one thing I've learned from floating around in other people's streams is that the more a mod can either sit in other streams and or be a mod in other streams, the more they learn about modding in each of the streams, because every streamer has their own style, their own taste, their own way they want to do things. And it's always good to be able to have a polish and or expansion of your own skills. If you catch me being slow in these areas, I'm just going underneath some of the lava, and I really didn't want to connect into it. There we go. And that's kind of what I like about this particular level of 12 or 13. I didn't realize I'd gone down another one. That's not good. Probably missing stuff. The X, where am I? I'm underneath lava. Ew! Well, that's not bright. Let's go back up by one. Probably see lava on the way. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Top heavy on British actors. What? Oh, gotcha. There are so many good British actors, though. I mean, like, in all honesty, if you'd rather that, actually, I probably should add that one in. Let me just make a note of that. Geek Out. Just go right in English. Geek Out. BAFTA Awards. I'm always looking for ways to internationalize the Geek Out questions. This is a very American-written game. Afterwards, that would be red. Actors. Weird random bits. I'm gonna have to remind myself after stream to start collecting up the bits because I don't always understand what they all mean. Yeah, the Oscars are not the be-all and end-all of awards. BAFTAs are pretty sweet too. Oh. Though I find it interesting that the UK ones, the BAFTA awards specifically, are a combined set rather than being for movies specifically or television specifically, whereas in North America they have the Oscars and the Emmys as two separate things. See? It's a good thing I came up by one.
Hello?
Hello, Big Hairy GM. How are you today? Good to see you. I am poking around in the Nether, doing another push for Netherite because it's going to be more difficult to use it the way I'd like to once the new expansion drops. Expansion, whatever you call it. New update drops. So I want to make sure that I have as much as I can have delivered to the appropriate people before that drop happens. So. And so far, I've got 1 ingot worth, which is nice. Let's switch that shulker box for an empty one. And keep on motoring. Pardon me. Oh, hey Tiz, how are you doing? Cinnamon rolls. I got 4 cinnamon rolls at the moment, which is good news. So, I have... Oops, what am I running? I'm running around in some gear. This is not my only netherite gear. I've got netherite pants too. And then I do have a sword, or not sword, sorry, a pickaxe and a shovel. But, A, one can always use extras, and B, Fantastic Sherlock Fox is not quite geared up like that yet. So, he's got some diamond gear that I don't know if he's using it or not. But, if I can help supply him with netherite, because he's been very kindly supplying me with other things and diamonds, then, all the better. And I know this is the sort of thing that he could probably do as well. It's just that given that he's got meetings and things while I don't actually work outside the home, then it means that he just doesn't necessarily have the time to spend for this sort of activity. See? 13. 13's my number today. Now, I keep putting these away instantly because if I was to burn, I really don't care about some of this other stuff. But I don't want to lose the cinnamon buns. Ooh, 2 sets of gear on Friday. What did you lose them to, Bob? I'm really quite curious. I assume you were being far more outgoing and bold than I would be. But aside from that, what was the activity you were up to? The new way is going to be a pain. Yeah. Now, from what I hear, that like the actual, obtaining of the netherite and such is not a pain in the first place. Like, well, it is. It is now. It always will be. But what I mean is that that part shouldn't change. Now, I could be out of date on my information because I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention. But the having to use, for netherite specifically, having to use the armor trim patterns that are only found in lovely places like bastions, woohoo! As you can imagine, those are not my favorite places to be. So, yeah. Making them harder to attach to gear is not on my happy place list. But 2 sets of gear, that's the thing that surprises me. Oh, we're gonna get the game picking at us pretty quick here. As my pick is in the hurt box. And I will listen this time around because this has mending on it, I think. Oh, nope, not this one. This one doesn't have mending, I have to listen to the next one. Aha! I don't learn very fast, do I? Okay. So, let's do this. Down a torch. And then mine that one. Yeah, much more effective. Keep forgetting about that trick. One out. This one. Next one out. And those drop. But sometimes I wonder if just mining it out in the first place would be faster. It used to be really, really fussy about closing in the tunnels behind me so that I wouldn't have ender twerps showing up, but I think we're okay. My guess is we're on an appropriate layer. Yeah, we've got lava and all kinds of stuff. Okay, yeah, so we're not in a... Oh, duh. Don't know if you guys see it. Right at the top it says Nether Wastes. So I don't have to worry about ender twerps popping in on my head. Started a new server Saturday and you're already up to 16 deaths. Ouch. Being careless? Yeah, well, I mean, some people are more bold, right? And they just go for it. I'm quite a conservative player. And actually, I was jokingly thinking I should call them, if I do a solo world for 120, I should call it Slow World. Because it'll be a lot of things I haven't done. And replacing at 10. Okay, let's see when the replacement fails. Yeah. 15. Replacement failed, okay. This one I don't care. Yes, I know. I'll be punching it in a second. There you go. See? Alright. That's part of the... The annoying little alerts are part of inventory... Oh, shoot. What's it called? Inventory profiles. So that's one of the ones that's allowing me to do all the chest sorting and so on. And that's the one that's got all the little tweaks and it yells at you and so on. So on and so forth. Quite handy. Handy. Let's see. That's not a silk touch, so I can't use that. That's not a silk touch, can't use that. Let's put those 2 down here. Okay, so this one I need to pay attention to, and that one I'll need to pay attention to. Which just means a trip to the Ender at that point. Oh, right, yes. That's what I was trying to do. And while I'm here, I'll put this one down. Go. More space. Make sure. Okay, there we go. I'm a little paranoid about the ender chest. Not that I can't make more. It's just that I don't have the supplies with me Stripping a lush cave before trim. We got caught out by mobs twice and could not find it, so despawned. Ow! Wish it was something more risky. Well, honestly, that mob caving is not one of my fortes, so that's risky enough for me. I mean, yeah, as you say, it might not be, you know, newsworthy level risky. It's not like you lost it to a warden or something, but I don't see anything wrong with that. 1, 2, 3. Come on. Going to break, please. I was watching My Puppy Taylor last night, and it was kind of interesting how she was choosing to do her netherite search. So she was on, was it 17, I guess, at that point, but she'd done 15. And actually, basically what she was doing is, you'll see the other tunnels coming through here, but what she was basically doing is she'd run through and put a piece in, and then she was actually stripping off, like this, in between, to expose top and bottom as far as she could reach. And then moving up a little farther and doing that. Which is fine. I mean, I had just never seen that before. It was kind of interesting to watch. I tend to prefer the hallways, but everybody's got their own way, and whatever works for them is really the best way for them, right? So, Bob, given that you lost the gear, aside from that, did you end up managing to get from the Lush Cave whatever it was you had originally been looking for? Wait. Haha. Yeah. Yeah, I remember teasing Fantastic Sherlock Fox a little bit because he'd managed to score some diamond armor and then wasn't wearing it. I couldn't figure out why, and it just had to do with the fact that he suddenly felt non-squishy enough that things were not quite the same fear level or challenge level as they had been previously. That was part of the excuse. There was other reasons too. So we did manage to score 3 shulkers of clay box, 2 moss, and lots of pink flowers and go berries. Well, I guess, I mean, sometimes you can consider the loss of the armor the cost of business, but it still stinks because it takes time and effort to put it together if you're doing it from scratch. And even if you're doing it by villager trades, it's still a pain in the butt to do, to max it out as much as your villagers may be able to. Like, I'm actually kind of annoyed a little bit because I've got I had 2 very nice armorers that were giving half-decent chest plates and so on, and I don't know what happened. 2 of them just disappeared. And then I've replaced them, but the new ones don't have quite as nice a selection of gear. Which also means then I have to be a little more careful what my librarians put out for books. And it did occur to me when suiting up for armor and stuff, I mean, lore-wise it's great to have librarians in lieu of monks. That works to an extent. But then when I'm trying to go and build gear or swords or whatever, it does mean I have to be heading to multiple places and a little bit of back and forthness. But that's okay, it's doable, it's just a bit of a... the heck. Huh. That's interesting. So somebody ran into a one-off spot and just let it pour. Interesting. Whatever. I'm just not used to seeing square lava shapes like that on the map. But that's definitely impressive. And that's the other thing, is the pink flowers are really in demand. Because it's the only place you can find them. It's not like you can just bone meal them and copy them. They look really neat. And it's kind of funny though, because the first time I saw the pink flowers from you got the pink flowers from Lush Caves, it reminded me an awful lot of a ceiling fan. Which just sounds really kind of silly to say that. But that's what it reminded me of. Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoops. Whoops. Hello? Uh-oh. Move. Thank you. Oops. Player equates to 12 shulkers of emeralds once traded with discounted villagers. Well, that's the key, is the discounted villagers. That's one of the other things I have done it a couple of times to zombify and cure villagers. And it always felt like I had no effort required after that. Like, it made it too easy for me. Doesn't mean that everybody has to play that way. But yeah, for me it felt too easy to get stuff, because particularly once you've got automated farms, whether it be villager harvested food or whether it be, oh, come on, like an iron farm, something of that nature, it still felt like I didn't have to do anything. So the discounting part seemed kind of pointless eventually, and so I just stopped doing it. Which is funny because I keep saying to people, yeah, you can come on over to my base and use my villagers, and they're all excited about it, and then they find out I haven't discounted them, and nope, I'll go use somebody else's offer. Okay. Ah! I should have known, dummy. Just being dumb with this. Put it there, and don't touch it. Thankfully it's brighter for you guys than it is for me. I never did figure out why you guys are seeing it brighter in the nether than I do. It's actually odd and uncomfortable to that extent. But I think I probably had put a filter on that changed the gamma on your end, and I've not adjusted it since. So I really hope some of the stuff you guys have been seeing hasn't been too bright in the overall. Whoa. What do we got? Yeah, silly me being dumb. You're getting some pretty seriously impressive loot there, Bob. But that's a good amount of emeralds. And I mean, the other question too is I always forget. Bob, are you doing the Bedrock server, or are you doing your own, or neither? My brain on who is on which server in DC's community is completely useless. There are some crossover people. Oh, whoops. There are some crossover people. There are some that are playing just one, some playing just the other, but then we all talk together, so I don't usually keep track of who's where. Bedrock, okay. That also makes a difference, partly in the mechanics, but also partly in the fact that, for me, I'd be doing, an iron farm, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, done, off you go. But that's because the Bedrock ones have dual mechanics, so I don't even have to fuss about a zombie if I don't want to, or something similar. Whereas the Bedrock ones, pardon me, are not problematic in any big way other than being much more material intensive, and you must have a baddie to make it work. So that is not high on my list. I mean, it's doable. Like, I'm not saying I won't do it. I've done it that way. It works well. I prefer to use a zombie. Duh. I prefer to use a zombie when I've got access to one. But just the fact that you only have that one option in Bedrock does make it a bit more challenging. Try to decide what I want to put up there. that's not good for plugging holes, but I think we'll be fine. Put those up there. Pardon me. Oh, all right.
Two, four, six, eight. Everybody hydrate.
Just gonna take a quick pause here and set that hydrate back to coffee. There we go. All right, did I pick up everything? Yes, we're good. Right, 13, 12. That's what happened. I know now how I got down one lower. Okay. Is that I had found netherite and then jumped or stayed on the level I'd found it on. That's explaining a lot. Okay. Ancient debris, sorry. That's like saying, you know, I found cheese when really I got cow milk. Okay, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Well, we're not doing so hot on the Academy Award winners. Let's see what we got. Oh, I don't know anything about that movie. Does anybody else? Not about movie, sorry, TV show. Is that, I mean, that's probably one of those Neil Patrick Harris shows, but that's as far as I can tell you. Bye. Just a little blob. Uh-oh. I'm making so many mistakes today. No, I didn't actually nail all the Academy Award winners. I just said, forget it. I don't think we know enough about those. Okay, so this one up there. There we go. Okay, great. Here we go again. Oh, I misread that backwards. I missed it, yes. Well, missing things is sometimes something I'm good at. You did get them all. Well, then I guess I better brush up on some of my UK actors. Get better at that. Okay, so if anybody else knows one actor from How I Met Your Mother, aside from Neil Patrick Harris, then we can get rid of that one too. No. No, stop being dumb. Right. I don't think I'm seeing more lava this time than I did the last time I played, but apparently my ability to spot lava is quite sus today. Right. It could be I'm right below a bunch of little individual dots of lava. right through here. But I kept thinking I'd either be below them or they'd just be a one-off easy to catch, but I'm being dumb in how I'm responding to them. Like this one, like we knew there was lava right in here, but then if I cut away, see the way the light's coming? Then if I cut away the gravel, then we end up with lava coming down above that. Or from above that, sorry. That one may not be a single isolated piece. Yep, definitely isn't. There's something up there. Let's do it this way then. J, we are on... What are we on? 13? 0 to 15. We're not quite underneath the lake, so we shouldn't have that much trouble. Who knows? Maybe I'm just lucky. I can hear it. Yeah. It's a stupid gravel. Okay. Past this. Can I go back up, please? Excellent. Nope, apparently not. 40. There is more lava today. There's gotta be. I'm just picking bad spots, I suppose. Yep. Okay. Getting tired of this. Okay, pick the other map. $15. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot south of me. Why? That's why, okay. What about in here? Go back to... Let me try to see... Oh, that's because it's already been riddled with caves. That's why. Okay, so let's see... South, I guess? Maybe? We're just screwed regardless, to be honest with you. Doing so well, generally, on that one. Uh-huh. No, unfortunately no. We're finding lots and lots of lava. Gravel is not helping though, I will say. But looking at the map, there's not a whole lot of better spots. I think I'm just having a bad luck day in terms of the lava. Some days you hit lots of lava, some days you don't. I mean, you know, the fact that I've got what do we have so far? 7, I think. Netherites. Then I should, or sorry, debris, pardon me. Then I shouldn't really look a gift horse in the mouth, because last time I did this I had far fewer in the same amount of time, even though I hit lava less. So it's a bit of a 6 of one, half dozen of the other, I suppose. Yeah, we're gonna go under this. If you take a look at the mini-map in the top corner, I'm chancing trouble with this, whoa, lake. So I think I'm gonna do another turnaround. Come on. Give me something, there we go. Okay, can I move to the right without getting myself burnt? Nope. Come on. And back we go. So it's just one of those poor luck days. Oops. Would have been nice if we'd had some hits, though. On the other hand, at least I didn't set myself on fire. That girl is on fire. That's all you're gonna get, stuffy nose or not. Ooh! Ah! Uh-oh. Problem. No, 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 no. Am I ever thankful that there was no lava above that? That would be problematic. Thanks for the compliment on the good save. Dumb move, but good save. I think it helps that I didn't have, that I wasn't fussing for the blocks on the bar. The other one, actually, I probably could have considered putting out would be a torch, because then all the stuff coming down would just keep falling on the torch at my feet. But the thing is, I don't know if I can... Oh, yeah, I can. I can put a torch right at my feet. So now I know that's a good one, too. Hee. See? I learn something new every day. Where are we here? Okay, How I Met Your Mother doesn't work too well, so let's skip that one. Aha! 2 songs involving a piano solo. And I could think of a dead obvious one that Fantastic Sherlock Fox can probably think of. But at the moment, I think that's the only one I could think of unless you generically categorize Elton John songs. Oh, actually, I've got another one I can think of. So 2 songs in which you hear a piano solo. Ah, not the one I was thinking of. Nice. Yep, there you go. That's one of the 2 I was thinking of, yeah. Ooh, there you go, hit. See? Feels good. The other one actually I was thinking of. Ooh, nice. We're getting pairs more often, whereas the last time I did this we only got singles, so this is nice. Yep. So Piano Man works well, and the other one that I was thinking of is Jerry Lee Lewis with Great Balls of Fire. And some days you might get me to do a bad rendition of that. Even I know better than that right now. Okay, 1, 2, 3. The math on why I do it this way, for me, is pretty simple. You know, I'm on a level that seems to work. We talked about 15, and then, needless to say, I'm exposing this row, the one in the ceiling, this row, and the one beneath, plus, of course, the stuff right in front of me. So it's big enough math for me that it works, and I don't have ender people bugging me. Depending on if I'm lucky or not, some days I can actually miss the lava fairly nicely from level 13. That's part of why I did 12 last season, actually, because I was missing the lava, but it looks like this season I'm not as lucky because a lot of the lava is coming out at that level anyway. Nether Waste is not my favorite biome to be digging in. Now I think I know why. You know, this sounds really kind of dumb, but one of the things I like about modded over vanilla, and this is vanilla with quality of life mods, but one of one of the reasons I like modded instead is that they can add things to the game. And map, how far do you go? Oh, okay, that's the end of that tunnel. So I just got myself a little turnaround for a second, and then I'll finish that blurb. 1, 2, 3. The thing I was thinking about is in modded you could do stuff. Not all mods do things like this, but in some mods you could do stuff like take your large quantity of excess gravel and throw it in a smelter or a furnace of some sort, and provided that you've got the right level of heat, that you could melt it down into some sort of usable stone. Whereas we don't see that in vanilla Minecraft. It's one of those would-be nice things, because I don't really find gravel to be all that useful. I mean, partly because I'm not a TNT person, and partly because I don't use a whole lot of cement. But I mean, there are things to do with it, it's just sometimes I think it would be nice to have another option. You're right, there's no such thing as vanilla Java, particularly not for me. And sometimes I wonder if wherever Minecraft is going in terms of Mojang's designs, I do wonder if their plans are actually to make a playable game by itself. Playable in terms of, like, you could play it if it was purely vanilla with no changes, no ads, no whatever. But yet that I wonder if they're more looking to make a decent base product, so that the idea is that whether it be Bedrock or Java, both sides are having add-ons or mods. Like, I actually wonder if they're looking to be able to do that, so that once people get used to the absolute base vanilla, they know what they want to change the game to be exactly the way they want to play it, and then the Minecraft just keeps improving the base, or improving or changing, I guess, is probably a more accurate way of looking at it. Improving is kind of a dubious distinction. That's just, it makes me wonder. I mean, I'm not saying that that is what they're doing, but it seems to make sense sometimes, because there's so many different flavors when it comes to like Java mods, for example, having been older. But even now, with people like Foxy No-Tail and Raven Mad Hatter and a few other ones making lovely add-ons for Bedrock, it makes me kind of wonder what's the aim. Like, there's so much that is different and or missing in the purely vanilla game that a lot of players itch, and note I said a lot, not all. A lot of players itch to get access to changes to their game as quickly as possible. And I did a no-no and didn't stop to pick up or to put away the netherite. That's going to cause me a headache at some point. So we've got 11. That's not too bad. We're only an hour and a half in. So in a per hour basis, we're doing better this round than we did last time I tried. Okay. There's a cross tunnel just under the edge of the lava, and if I can make it to that, then I'll use that as a turnaround point. Yep, there we go. 1, 2, 3. And here we go. Exactly. Yeah, that's the platform discussion. For sure. How do I feel about gravity block dupers? Weirdly enough, I wouldn't have cared till recently. Yeah, I think it'd be kind of cool if we could smelt gravel into some sort of stone. But, so you asked me about gravity block dupers. Now, I kind of, till recently I said, okay, well, what are you really, like, what would we really be duping? And I was thinking of like, what are the gravity blocks we have available? And the only two that at the time came to mind were sand and gravel. And I was thinking, well, you know, okay, unless you want to make concrete or TNT, what's the point, right? I didn't really care. There were plenty of others out there, apparently. I just didn't think of them. And the reason that made me decide lately I don't like them, in one, yeah, it's a time saver, and it's being used to make things that are time savers when it comes to things like being able to do TNT mining, either overworld or in the nether for like ancient debris or whatever. Or one of the ones I saw the other day was an infinite fuel furnace. I was trying to figure out what the heck they were talking about, because a lot of the times it boils down to, you know, you got lava, you're good, right? No, what they had actually done was they had a redstone set up in such a way that I can't remember exactly what it was they were putting underneath, but they had a carpet on top, and that's your fuel. So the way they had everything popping up and down repeatedly is it virtually duplicated the carpet, and did actually duplicate the carpet, but duplicated the carpet, and one of them would pop off and end up getting sucked into the furnace for fuel. The way this thing was set up, and I thought, well, that's kind of stupid. Like, that felt very cheaty to me. So I guess my stance is I think duping is cheaty, but and I could for myself not see any reason I would want to use that. Oops, wrong way. I could not see any reason I'd want to use that method of like duping blocks. Just I don't really get the point to duping blocks generally. Is the way I agree with the people who are of the mind that duping blocks is kind of like how do I put it? It's kind of like having creative in survival, and I don't see the point. Right? Like if we get more armor to make us less squishy, and then we've got duping abilities, and we've already got you know, ways of cheapening the cost with villagers in a permanent way and or long-term way. I mean, depending on which platform you're on. I just don't see the point. Like, I guess what I would rather see, personally, is increased granularity available on the modes that one can pick, so that you can turn on and off various different things. That's more my taste. It'll never happen in a million years. But that's what I would personally like to see, is in theory, if things like duping were not a thing, or things like villager discounts were not a thing, you know, and we all had to work for it. But I mean, as I said, I play differently than a lot of other people. If that's what floats their boat and they want to make contraptions that do things like that, I guess have at her. My major stance really is that if people are going to go and do that sort of thing, A, it shouldn't be used negatively against others in terms of like pranks and so forth, and B, get yourself ahead, that's fine, but then consequently I also don't like the players who insist on looking down on others or choosing to not either avail themselves of that opportunity or yeah, because like I've been in places where, or in some streams where someone in chat has called me lazy for the fact that I really don't like building contraptions for absolutely everything to automate everything. I actually get a kick out of doing some of this stuff myself. It's not just the mining like this, but other pieces too. And I've also understandably been called a chicken for not wanting to deal with things like the Warden. That's fine. You know, I've never faced a wither, not even in a group situation yet, and that's not a chicken thing. That was just purely a timings availability when people were doing group wither stuff. But I've never really been into those sorts of things. And I guess what I'm saying is, you know, play it how you want. Just remember to keep some of your negativity to yourself sometimes. I'm not saying that you're negative zero. That's totally not my intent. I've just had that negativity come my way and was not too impressed by it. And then the person went on to boast about whatever they duped lately, and it really got my goat. And in some cases, too, there is a bit of a time and a place kind of thing. So, depending on what you're doing, right? Like, there are some... If you've got a really large project going and you actually have a reason for wanting to dig down to the bottom of the world, okay, great. But some people do it to just be able to say they've done it. Like, I've known two different private players who don't stream that they went and dug used TNT and beds as a combination to blow out the majority of what would have been a perimeter in the Nether. For what purpose, I don't know, because they never ended up using it for anything. So, I don't know. Yeah, people will just say, you got a permit! Right? But slow and steady isn't the only way to play, and I'll be honest, that's part of the reason why the channel stays small, and I'm okay with that. I mean, I'd love to see it grow, that would be nice, but if high-speed play and major progression, whether it doesn't necessarily mean story progression, it could even be changed to your base or whatever. If that sort of stuff is what's all the rage these days, then that's, you know, in some cases that's what you give them. But in other cases, there's enough of us out there in terms of thousands and thousands of channels. People can find what they want. And I love it, but I'm here to share with my friends, and I'd probably be playing this way even if I wasn't streaming. Life's too short to tell people how to play, as long as it's not interfering with others. Totally. Yeah. So, I mean, but the thing about this bed-bound perimeter, which I thought was kind of interesting, in this scenario, was that they had item duped a lot of the materials to make the TNT in the first place. And then, and auto-farmed the rest of it for trees and wool. And then after they got their perimeter done, they're like, I'm bored, and didn't end up actually doing anything with it. So had they continued that world, it would have literally just been a world with a great big hole in it. Because they could, and that was it. That was all they did. And that's the kind of thing where I go, why bother? Like, I don't know. It's everybody can do their own thing, as we've said, but still, sometimes, yeah. I guess it falls in with, I'll make what Fantastic Sherlock Fox says. Actually, I'll back that up. Zeroed says, in my OG RTX world, we had a take a nap in the Nether redeem. Oh, geez. Yeah, that's, get your butt blown up. Fantastic Sherlock Fox says, I like that Minecraft gets so many different types of players and streamers. You can always find something fun for whatever mood you're in, whether it's elaborate stories like the Pigglesworth, or fun exploration and learning like Dadcraft73, speed running or hardcore with Bruno, and then 0 degrees, yeah. There's so many different flavors. So, that's really what it is. I mean, we're here to have fun, right? That's the big key. And whatever is fun for you is fun for you. The one that got me, though, actually, I shouldn't say the one that got me, one of the ones that I had seen briefly with a friend of my son's. We tried having a sort of family and friends server world, and this gentleman was not into a whole lot of things. He was sort of the PvPer, or sorry, not PvPer, yeah, the PvPer and prankster of the non-Dadcraft community welcome type. So make of that what you will. But in any case, he enjoyed making a mockery out of the game and making others feel awful and stuff. But one of the other things he did was sorry, I'm trying to put this stuff away while I think about it. There we go. He duped things, okay? Like Diamond duped, for example. And then decided that he was going to set up a shop and sell them. That's a big, big no-no in my world. Like in my mind. It is not happening. So, needless to say, we were kind of glad that for other reasons he left. And we didn't have to deal with him anymore. But, yeah. Not a happy situation. And that's one of those things, a lot of servers say no diamond duping or whatever, because really, depending on the server you're playing on, that's your currency. And duping your currency is definitely cheaty. Like, there's no two ways about it. Oh, today's debris count, yes. Yeah, I guess I should have put that on screen, that would have been nice. Okay, today's debris count, we have 11. So not that bad. I mean, not great, but not bad. So we're looking for new Geek Out just surfaced. And the new Geek Out is 4 fantasy novelists. So 4 fantasy authors. Now, I've got 11 pieces of debris, which is actually a better turnout than I had the last series of times I tried to run for debris. So although we've been dealing with more lava, we're actually getting better conversation and better debris. So it's a nice trade-off, I'll take it. Wow, that gamma is insane. Where's the game? Game. Filters. Oh, I don't have any filters on that. Okay, so I put the filter on something else. Games. Minecraft. Filters. Yeah, there we go. I'm just gonna turn this down just a touch. Almost the same as it was before, but it's closer to what I'm seeing. All right. Now, would Heinlein count as a fantasy author? I wasn't sure. I thought they were more of a sci-fi direction. Ah, yes, okay. Definitely darker? Oh, maybe too much. Okay. It could also be my own screen. That's a possibility, too. Let's go back up. Oop. Then I'll go back up to where it used to be, and I'll argue filters and screens later. There we go. What else have we got? I'm trying to think of... Fantasy authors would be Stephen R. Lawhead, which would be an interesting one. Oh, shoot. All the Pern authors. Or not Pern authors, Pern books. And I can't remember who on earth wrote those. I was just shopping for those a couple weeks ago. Anyway. I mean, needless to say, we have to throw Tolkien in there, right? Yes, and McCaffrey, for sure. Okay, we need to throw Tolkien in there, right? Of course, always. Yes. Well, I would agree. Sci-fi and fantasy have a bad habit of crossing lines these days, so I'll take it, since we've already exceeded the targeted values with pure fantasy writers. Yeah, if it's fantasy in the house, it's often Fantastic Sherlock Fox's collection, but sometimes it's mine, whereas if we're going to end up with sci-fi, it's exclusively Fantastic Sherlock Fox. Nothing wrong with it, just never really appealed to me. Oops, I know why I don't have one. There we go. Aha! 6 films with a color in the title. Okay, can we beat 6? You almost forgot Tolkien? Yeah. One of the #1 exploited fantasy authors. So, Movies with color in the title. Ah! So Zeroed, I think that's a bit of a giveaway if you're thinking the same author I'm thinking of. By any chance related to Robin Miller as well? Because I'm thinking video games. And while Rand Miller's novelizations of of the world behind their video games. Ooh, yes! Me want! So bad. If I'm thinking, okay, Robin and Rand Miller were the brother duo behind the original video game Myst and Cyan Worlds. And Rand Miller wrote... Yep. Rand and Robin worked together, but they wrote 3 novelizations of the background of the Myst and Riven and Exile worlds. It makes a lot more sense in the later part of the games if you've read the books, but it's completely not necessary. And I've read them once in paperback edition and absolutely loved it. But have not been able to find them since. My brother owned the paperback copies when I lived at home, and I think he took them with him to Edmonton, I'm not sure. But, yeah. So at some point I want to buy a copy, in a physical sense. I loved those, absolutely loved them. I was a huge Myst nut for a long time. As in, like, I was doing a journal while I was in college in '99. Just a fun for me type journal. And I numbered all the pages in Dunny. And then the cover was a screenshot of one of the Gens desks from Riven. That was a total nut. Yeah, our son's playing. He insisted on skipping. We did Myst together a few years ago. And he insisted on skipping Riven and Exile. He got started in Riven and then got mired. And then he skipped Exile entirely and jumped straight on into the Uru Ages of Myst game, which he was enjoying. But it's kind of funny because it's the one that I consider story order out of order, and it also makes it seem like the main character in those books is absolutely off her bean, and she probably is, but it's just not the way I'd originally thought of it. Ooh. Yeah, I've never actually had my hands on a hardcover version of that, but that would be definitely up my alley. I'd heard that they... Got it. Perfect. Thanks. That works perfectly. Fantastic, Shock Fox. So I have 15 left. So yeah, for those of you who've heard of or played the Myst games but have not actually read the books, definitely take the time to do so. I highly recommend it. The only regret I have about that whole series is they bothered to have such a similar name usage that 2 versions of Atris or Atris show up in the books, and it's hard to explain to somebody who hasn't read the books which one you're talking about at any one time. Oh yeah, I guess you do have... having played through that version of or that re-release of Myst, Fantastic Sherlock Fox, I would definitely say it holds up to the original, and so as an Oculus run, I think it would be really interesting, particularly since they've got much better hand gesturing added since the game was released. Okay, where am I going? This way. And I get through there. Nope. Yes, I know I'm poking the bear by being that close. We should stand up here for a bit. Okay, good. We're good. Now, here's a question for you, Zeroed, or anyone else who's familiar with the Myst series. Have you and or would you play Cyan's most recent most recent game called Firmament. It's been getting some horrible, horrible reviews because it actually was released with a couple of really ridiculously major bugs. But they've already had a patch out to fix the top two most annoying bugs. And yet it's still kind of, on Steam, it's only getting about a 65% review. Now, I don't know if that's related to people who just didn't go back and try again, or if it really is still that bad. So I'm kind of curious what you would think. Actually, that's true. Fantastic Sherlock Fox, have you by any chance, I'm not trying to derail entirely, but have you by any chance taken a dip into, what's it called? Into the Room game that you were playing since the removal of the need for hand controllers? I'm not sure you hadn't heard of it? Yeah. So, Firmament has the very beautiful cyan-styled worlds, but it's got, basically the premise, I think, has to do with you're some sort of like savior of the world kind of person, and you've got a mentor to teach you, which is basically a disembodied voice that follows you around all over the place. And then you've got a tool that you can use to unlock locks and open doors and so on. And then there's supposed to be puzzles similarly. Now, the two major gripes I'm hearing about the game, one was that they felt that there wasn't enough lore available in the world if you didn't have this crazy sprite, in essence, following you around and telling you stuff. The second complaint was that they said that the puzzles were all solvable in a similar manner, and sometimes the difficulty came down to figuring out where to stand. So I don't know, I'm quite curious, but I don't think at the moment that I'll be spending the money, which is about $45 Canadian. I don't think I'll be spending the money to buy it in the near future. I might at some point. I have played Abduction, and that was, well, I don't know. It was unique. I'll say that for it. It was unique. Didn't like it as much, but definitely did follow it all the way through. Yeah, the graphics are amazing. And the other thing that they were very clear about is, even though, I'm trying to remember which one of the Millers, even though one of the two has been playing a lot with the AI art and being able to post pictures on the web of AI art combinations, they made it very clear that they did not use AI generative art in there, that they went more, I guess you could say, their version of old school. Oops, this way. Their version of old school in that they did all the art themselves. So they were very clear to say they didn't cut corners. Which I find interesting that they felt they even had to, like, make that announcement. I just thought that was a little disappointing. But the places are beautiful. Like, I would spend... It's one of those things where I would spend hours, given the opportunity, just hanging out in their worlds. So kind of like when you see the ASMR videos on YouTube, we use, I think, Cozy Rain or something else, and there's like Relaxing Nature and a whole bunch of other similar ones. And what did I do? There we go. There's a whole ton of similar ones, but I would spend hours and hours in Myst and Riven type worlds if I could. That's actually one of the things that I'm looking forward to on Fantastic Sherlock Fox's Oculus headset, is he's got a couple of nice spots that are supposed to be designed for like meditative journeys and things. And there's days I just want out of Dodge. Like, you can't quite 3D walk around, say, Hawaiian beaches or something yet. But hey, you know, sometimes this sort of stuff is a nice escape. And I will definitely probably be looking at the Firmament soundtrack before I play the game, because the music that the Millers make is just crazy good. I'm not familiar with Outer Wilds, but I'd like to try and figure out what that's like. Another one I've got on my Steam wish list, and it's a bit older by now, but is supposed to be somewhat similar for those who liked Myst, is a game called Quern, Q-E-R-N. and it's supposed to be getting some half-decent reviews, so I'm hoping to take a look at that. It's one of those things, there's never enough hours in the day to play all the games you want, or even get all the work done that has to be done. Not that I do too much of that. But there's never enough hours in the day to experience everything. And I would love to, you know, potentially go back to having a day where I do one day worth of non Minecraft material, just to be able to talk about some of these other games and stuff with people. But it doesn't bode very well. So, yeah. Not that I can't, it's just not likely. I haven't reached the streaming maturity yet to be able to handle that, I guess is probably where I'm going with that. I'm still too immature! Which is pretty clear. Spirit says, I've been avoiding looking too close at Outer Wilds, but it looks beautiful and is a puzzle-like game. Surface level reminds me of Myst. I'm also looking at the Talos Principle series. I'm not a huge fan of their leaning on robotics and having a robotic character, but a lot of their puzzle styles remind me very heavily of Myst, and Talos Principle 2 is getting some pretty good preview footage. So I'm looking at that, because it hasn't come out yet. But there's 2 previous games in this series, so that looks good. I'm also enjoying quite a lot of the management games, so without derailing too far on that one, but I'm still enjoying Cities Skylines, even though they're going to be coming out with a new one soon. Which means, of course, like with Sims and everything else, you buy all the expansions and then the new one comes out and you're like, oh, well, there goes that plan. You have to start all over again. But anyway, I'm looking at that, and so I was actually taking a look at whether or not I wanted to dip my nose into the Anno series of games. And I think that might be a little more to bite off than I really want, but it was just something to look at that's a little different. Let's see. There it says, avoiding the Outer Wilds game simply because I've heard that watching any amount of it is too much spoilers and might ruin the first playthrough experience. Sounds pretty cool. Puzzle games can be a ton of fun. Exactly. Like, I totally understand on both fronts. Puzzle games can be a lot of fun, but things like, I played through part of the Room series, and it didn't have very much uptake for viewers, and I figured out why, and it wasn't just because it wasn't something that people that I play for, like, or stream for, wanted. It was also a matter of, oh, where am I here? Did I find a tunnel? Oh, it suddenly got small, that's why. But it also was, part of the reason that that didn't go over well is because those types of games are designed such that it does matter what you've seen. It's going to be spoilers no matter how much footage you watch, like any of it, at all, 0, will still get you too many spoilers. Oh, come on. There we go. So that did not work at all. 1, 2, 3. I might as well take a look at the map. I could just keep going. Sure. So we're almost done at the top of the hour. I wonder if I can get to that tunnel at the far end in time. The other question is, can I find my way out? Ooh. Can she find her way out, or is she still going to be lost? Find out next time on... You know, one of the advantages that the people who play animal characters have is they can do things like same Fox time at same Fox channel. Aw, come on. Yeah, I popped a totem and then I chickened out. I probably should be using one of these. That would be sensible. That would be very sensible. Shut up, cat. I'd love to know what they used for... Good question. I do not know. being perfectly upfront, I do not know if you can. I'll tell you, with my skills, I can guarantee you can't. But then again, I couldn't on Bedrock either, so I panicked too much to be able to make that work. I'll definitely keep Outer Wilds on my radar. That's actually a good one. Let me write that down as well. Which page? I got a page of suggestions. Oh right, I moved the suggestions elsewhere. Okay. Let's go. Outer Wilds. ERO. Gotcha. Okay. So one of your favorite tricks in Bedrock is accepting the totem pop and just going up through Lava Lake. Oh, I see. As in making use of it and just climbing your way back or flying your way back out. Interesting. Oh. Yeah, I'm still of the old school notion that the easiest way to deal with lava is to just not get yourself stuck in the first place. And as you can see, that's not working out well for me today. Ooh. First time today I've run into this stuff. Manual cable. Why are we seeing that? Minimap settings. Waypoint settings, block view. I'll have to check that out off stream. Now's not the time to play with that. We have just hit the top of the hour. I have just hit basalt. Let's throw it on a torch. Just right in front of me. There we go. So, Delaney is in the nether. I will probably push for some more this evening just because it's a cool, chill way to just have some conversation and hang out with other people. But we have hit the top of the hour, so I'm just going to quickly pop over and see who is live at the moment. If need be, we may give it a minute or two just to make sure whoever is live is going solid. And what I mean by that is hasn't just barely started 3 seconds in sort of deal. Aha! Okay, I don't see anybody that I follow on Truly Bedrock at the moment. So I think we're going to head over to the Phantom SMP and we're going to watch some of the wonderful Pristine Frog. So head on over to Pristine Frog. Now, heads up, not that long ago, I'm not going to give too many details because I don't have them, but not that long ago, Pristine Frog had a bit of a challenge where something happened with his phone and he had a lot of his followership deleted. So if you had been following Pristine Frog before and decide that you still want to be, I recommend do check for that because they, by having that followership knocked, it's been quite a big hit on them. So in any case, they are playing on the Phantom SMP, dealing with, oh boy, Mount Frogoriyama. So it looks like they're building a mountain. Yep. So we're going to do a raid to Froggo. Alrighty. So thank you everybody for hanging out. I'm just going to see if I can get that raid to start the easy way. Otherwise, I'll put it in the hard way. Hard way it is. Raid. Rod. Okay, let's try it again. Oh. Raid. Pristine Frog 530. I swear I cannot spell on any of my devices these days. Alrighty, well have yourselves a great day, and we'll start the raid.
Mislift managed.
There we go. Okay, so, special thanks this stream to Fantastic Sherlock Fox for being our mod as best he can. Extra special thank you to ITT Tom for bringing over himself and his raiding party. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Oh, and I apologize to Flip Up for not seeing their new follow. Thank you very much for that. Also, thank you to Big Harry GM, Tis for Truth, ITT Tom, CJ Bot, Flip Up, Zeroed, and Bob, B Silver B, and anyone else who was hanging out in stream. I really appreciate every single one of you. You always make my day so much better by being here. So thanks so much. Give All our support and love to the frog, and I will join you shortly. Oh, last piece just before I go. Next stream will be 7 p.m. Eastern, which comes out as... Oh, no, not that one. That's an old one. I can't find my next stream button. I moved it. Stupid me. Oh well. There we go. So the next stream for me will be 7 p.m. Eastern tonight, and I will see you guys on the flip side. Bye-bye for now.